All right, from the beginning, in 2021, we sold our house and pretty much everything we owned, and we bought this camper and our truck outright with cash. 6 months in, we still haven't really figured out what we were going to do for work long term, so John got his license to be an insurance adjuster. Literally the day he got fingerprinted and passed everything, he ended up getting offered a job to project manage in Florida for a roofing company. For the next 6 months or so, we bounced around in the RV. When the company decided to move to the West Coast, we followed in our RV, and it was just so expensive that we kind of thought, what is the point? We might as well get a house. So we bought a house and parked our fifth wheel in the front yard and started gutting and fixing this house up. Now, we were doing this pretty slow because John was working full time, but about 6 months in or so, maybe 8 months, the company decided that they were no longer going to be staying on the West Coast, but we still had to finish this house. John had remodel work that he was doing at the time, so we parked our RV on a house that he was working on while we started renting out the house as each bedroom was getting done. So we rented it out as a 2-bedroom and then a 3-bedroom as we finished. Then his remodel work was coming to an end, and we had to really figure out what we were going to do, and that's when we decided to work camp. Now, this really, we took a beating just hauling that fast and that far. We drove from South Florida to Montana for our first job, and we have just never hauled that fast before. Now, this is probably one of my favorite memories I'll ever have is these 5 months of just working together as a family, and we overcame a lot in those 5 months. So many things with the fifth wheel, but we did it. We fixed it. And our last job we ended up having with the zoo was in New York before driving down to Florida because we had a lot to fix on our fifth wheel. We ended up accepting a job that wouldn't require any traveling once we got there. And we ended up staying at this job for 2 years until the most devastating thing that's ever happened to us happened. A fire started while we were sleeping, and we're always so thankful that we woke up in time, but we lost everything that we owned, all of our personal everything. We've never really lived in our house, and that's why we didn't have any of our personal things in our house. Now, we rent our house out, and we honestly can't really afford to not rent our house out, so we made the quick decision to get a school bus and start traveling again. We picked a bus that was pretty much already ready to hit the road because we already had a work camping job and our house rented. However, that came to a screeching halt pretty fast because we've already now invested over $9,000 into fixing the skoolie. It makes us a little sick, but we're praying that we're towards the end of that and a rainbow is going to shine soon. So that's it. That's how we ended up with a skoolie.